Young Dolph's murder and the subsequent trial have cast a shadow over the Memphis rap scene, creating an emotional, intense environment that has undoubtedly affected how artists and executives like Yo Gotti navigate their careers. For Yo Gotti and CMG, the trial has added layers of public scrutiny, especially given the well-known tensions between Gotti and Dolph before Dolph's death. Though Gotti has distanced himself from any involvement, the tragedy and its ongoing legal battles have kept speculation alive, fueling public conversations about the beef. However, instead of derailing CMG's momentum, the label has continued to grow, largely because Gotti has been careful not to let the tragedy define his moves. He is focused on expanding CMG's reach and supporting his artists, keeping his name out of the drama as the trial unfolded. For many fans, the trial served as a reminder of the dangerous realities surrounding rap feuds, but it hasn't stalled Gotti's rise. CMG continues to release chart-topping music, proving that despite the tense atmosphere, the business is still moving forward. At the same time, there's an undeniable weight on the Memphis rap scene, with fans and the streets paying close attention to how the trial unfolded. It has also added a level of complexity to Gotti's role in the city, as he must balance business success with sensitivity to a community still grieving over Dolph's death. This is the Devil's Advocate. Let's analyze this piece that I'll show you next from the Lionel B Show and uncover any themes, ideas, or inconsistencies that may not line up with reality. My analysis may go against the grain. It may go against popular opinion as we challenge the status quo to expose hidden truths.
Yo Gotti wasn't playing when it came to getting they revenge.
I have to get revenge. Huh?
Court documents revealed they placed several hits out on PRE members, and I have the leaked list with all the names.
He killed the goat.
This news comes after Justin Johnson, aka Straight Drop, was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison, and prosecutors revealed that CMG paid for Dolph hit and for the attorneys of Dolph shooters. Now make sure you watch this whole entire video so that you don't miss nothing, as I reveal the shocking list that would have been dead by now if Jook was still alive. It was previously reported that Yo Gotti, facing a RICO charge, was involved with the death of Young Dolph after the feds have tied numerous crimes back to the CMG label owned by Yo Gotti and was funded off of drug money. Yo Gotti was called out by Whack 100 saying,
Yo Gotti, say your prayers. You better say your prayers.
You know they coming, don't you? You know they coming,
hey, bro, that nigga got up there and said, they said, didn't CMG pay for your attorney $50,000? Yeah. But they didn't give it to me. He said, yeah. But they paid for it because you killed Dolph, right? Yeah. Well, that was your compensation, right? CMG said, well, yeah, they gave the attorney $50,000. Yeah, because I killed Dolph. Jook dead. He was an exec of that company. That's your brother. That's gonna get. That's next. Watch. Remember I told you.
Bro, wouldn't it be smart to blame it on the dead man, though?
No, he was part of the company. They saying CMG. They're gonna classify it as a gang. They're gonna try to target. Now let's do the math. CMG and PRE shooting at the back in the Carolinas. Motherfuckers doing songs. Shot the Sprinter 100 times. Bulletproof. Dead. PRE, they're gonna take that and paint the perfect movie. These two things are gang, and your gang paid this dude's attorney $50,000 because you hired him to do a hit for 100. They coming.
Damn.
I heard that. I said, y'all didn't hear that shit?
Yeah, I heard it when they was testifying.
Oh my God! I said, oh damn.
clear that it's definitely over for Yo Gotti and CMG. There is no way this man can stay in business making money, and I'm sure Jay-Z is gonna back away from him the same way he backed away from Diddy. Now this list is shocking, and the dollar amounts, y'all, are beyond disrespectful. It just goes to show you the type of person Big Jook and Yo Gotti is, and they definitely hated competition. Now it's no wonder why they got get back on Big Jook, and he's no longer living. The list included several high-profile names from PRE, which I will be revealing soon in this video. Now, following the guilty verdict of one of the assailants in the Young Dolph's murder trial, straight drop, government named Justin Johnson, was handed down a life sentence and charged with conspiracy to commit murder, first-degree murder, and felon in possession of a weapon. Now, after the verdict was read, he took shots at his co-defendants and CMG when he posted on social media saying, "These ninjas taking criminal responsibility, I'm taking street responsibility. Regardless, I'm forever the biggest. They can throw away the keys before I ever eat the cheese." Now, clearly the life sentence and lack of pay for that hit taught the youngster absolutely nothing.
You're not very smart, are you?
The streets don't love nobody. Now, Young Dolph's baby mama, Mia J, released a statement after he was finally charged, and she's alleging that Yo Gotti and Black Youngster is next. But you gotta read between the lines. Now, she said, "Today's verdict brings relief and restores my confidence in the justice system. On behalf of my children, family, and myself, I would like to thank law enforcement, the prosecution, and everyone involved for their diligent work in presenting the facts that led to this conviction. We are also grateful to the public for standing with us and advocating for accountability throughout this process. The past 3 years, marked by the loss of Adolph and the events leading to the trial, have been incredibly frustrating. My faith has been tested, but Adolph's tragic execution has only strengthened my resolve to fight for justice, not only for him, but for all Black men. This is just the beginning of our journey towards achieving full justice for Adolph, and we will be patiently awaiting support of the unfolding of that process." Now, key word she mentioned is, "It's just the beginning." Now, she knows the other key players involved are going to be locked up soon. The Gotti investigation is underway, and she knows more arrests are coming. She also mentioned in the letter, full justice. Clearly, there are more people involved in Dolph's assassination, and she's aware of it. And she's also aware that CMG was the orchestrators behind the hit. CMG and PRE war had a lot of bloodshed in Memphis and surrounding areas. A list was released of bounties on several members' heads. They put up $100,000 for Adolph Thornton, aka Young Dolph, $50,000 for Markevius Cathy, aka Key Glock, $50,000 for Terrence Baker, aka PRE Woo, $5K for Zequelius Davenport, aka Moochie Grape, and $20K for Snoop Bands, and it's saying unknown name at this time. Now, this is definitely shocking information that Big Jook has such a long list. So it wasn't only just Dolph that he wanted a whole lot more people, man, from PRE. And it allegedly looks like he was willing to put up some big money, even though he actually still straight dropped. I don't know if he was willing to pay all the money, you know what I'm saying? He seemed like he was definitely shady. But, you know, even if he would have did half, that would have been like maybe $400 a piece. Dolph for $800 and everybody else for $400 each. Because, dude, you know, he definitely wasn't paying no 100 racks, no 50 racks or any of that. But this is what he was telling people. He was out here telling people, like, listen, I'm going to pay you this amount to go ahead and get this taken care of. So, y'all, there is no way y'all can say that Yo Gotti is not connected. How the hell you think Big Jook got the money to set this whole thing up? He ain't get it from himself. He wasn't making no damn music. He got all this money from his brother Yo Gotti. Yo Gotti was financing this entire operation. Yo Gotti was financing all of these hits. All he did was get that list to Jook, and Jook sent it up the chain of command. But y'all see what happened to Jook. So do y'all feel like Yo Gotti is gonna be next? Is he gonna be taken out before the feds get him? Or do y'all feel like he's gonna get hit up in the streets?
Now, does that add up? To me, this doesn't make sense. Let me tell you why. Gotti has worked too hard to distance himself from the street life that raised him. Otherwise, What was the point in going so hard to overcome all the challenges that he's experienced leading up to where he is today? I'm talking about the buying himself out of his deals, taking L's, just going through all the trials and the challenges of coming up as an artist from Memphis, Tennessee. My take is that this was all cooked up by his brother. Gotti, at this point, Gotti had already reached a level of success few rappers have achieved and will ever achieve. He didn't need to have Dolph removed from the picture at this point. Remember, it had been about 4 years since Dolph was targeted in Charlotte. That's a long time to let things simmer. Gotti had stepped out of the spotlight at this point so that he can let his new artist shine. This smells to me like Big Bro struggled to stay relevant in the streets. The hustle was the music. The hustle wasn't the dope anymore at this point. Gotti had the talent, and Jook was a washed-up has-been dope boy that time left behind. Now, the question of who fronted the money, to me, has an easy answer. Jook sold these guys a wolf ticket. And let me tell you what that is. That's basically when you tell somebody a lie, because they'll fall for it. He dangled a carrot in front of those guys because he presented himself as someone who was quote unquote good for the money because of his brother. He never really intended to pay them anything close to $100,000. You can string along people who don't have street smarts or common sense. As long as he had something they wanted, they were going to do whatever he asked them to do to get closer to that carrot. For Cornelius, it was to get a couple of dollars, in this case $800, to buy pills, X, or whatever he was on. He had already demonstrated in the trial his lack of intellectual sophistication and was clearly an easy target. For Straight Drop, it was the promise of stardom, a record deal. Him being steadfast and keeping it 100 and not being the type to snitch is what made him an attractive target to carry out his plan, to carry out Jook's plan. Even if it meant him going down. Well, as they say, the rest is history, and it's still unfolding.